After Jesus was baptized by John and tempted by Satan, he went back to the region of Galilee and eventually here, to the city of Nazareth, home. This is what the Gospel of Luke says. Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and news about him spread through the whole countryside. He was teaching in their synagogues, and everyone praised him. He went to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and on the Sabbath day he went into the synagogue, as was his custom. He stood up to read, and the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was handed to him. Unrolling it, he found the place where it is written, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." Then he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of everyone in the synagogue were fastened on him. He said to them, "Today this scripture is fulfilled in your hearing." Luke 4:14 through 21. This is profound. Jesus returns to the town where he grew up and starts a public ministry. One Saturday, he goes to the front of the synagogue, the Jewish house of worship, where he would have spent many Saturdays as a kid, and he reads a famous messianic prophecy from the prophet Isaiah. Jesus finishes this prophecy, one that the Jewish people would have been reading for about 700 years, by identifying himself as the one spoken of by Isaiah. Now, can you imagine this? Maybe you grew up with this guy. He was your stickball buddy. He was the son of Joseph and Mary, just normal, regular townsfolk. And then, after 30-something years of Jesus being just a regular guy, he goes off and gets baptized by John the Baptist at the Jordan River, runs off to the wilderness for 40 days, and returns revealing himself to be the long-awaited Jewish Messiah. Now, needless to say, the local folks were a bit skeptical. Well, then Jesus calls them out and challenges their doubt by pointing to past Hebrew generations who were also skeptical of the scriptures and the prophets. Well, apparently that didn't go so well because his neighbors become an angry mob and they threaten to kill Jesus by throwing him off a nearby cliff. Jesus escaped the mob, but in the process is more or less run out of town. So Jesus had to walk about 25 miles down the road to Capernaum. But about halfway there, he would have been greeted with this beautiful sight. I'm guessing that he stood somewhere near here and took it all in. This is the Sea of Galilee.